Alright, so this is my weekly aquaponics update. I was told by my mother I must talk in my videos. So let me explain what I got going on. So these are IBC aquaponic tanks. I've got two of them running. They're, I believe, the 350-gallon tanks that were split in half and turned into an aquaponics tank. This is the second year they're running. First year I actually put up the custom-built tarps. And it has made an enormous improvement. So I'll show you what I got growing. So let's see. Over here, this is kohlrabi. So the big ball right there is what you end up eating. It's really good with salads and like apples and stuff like that. So over here is broccoli and more broccoli. Over here I got some garlic chive, which really isn't doing very well. But you can see this big old girl over here, which I have officially dubbed Audrey 2, is one cantaloupe seed. She has now pretty much taken over my aquaponics tank. She stretches from there to start and goes all the way to the end, and then actually wraps herself all the way back around here. So I'll go over this way and you can see. So she is, as you see, an enormous girl and doing rather well. So I noticed that since she's doing so well and I kind of draped her around the top, that since it's cantaloupe and she's going to be producing some pretty heavy melons, I should probably let her go down to the ground. So I added a little bit of a trellis yesterday on this side to kind of give her some support, which you can see is right there. So give her a little extra support, but you can see she's enormous. So she wraps all the way around. So yes, that's Audrey and that's cantaloupe. And over here is cabbage. And I planted a couple Swiss chard, so that's a Swiss chard kind of under there. And there's another Swiss chard over there. And underneath my kohlrabi over there, it's kind of hard to see, I didn't show you, which is beets, some sugar beets. And so there's another Swiss chard. So I just planted those last week, so they should get pretty big. They've already grown pretty big. And then over here, I was trying to move Audrey around a bit, and I snapped off of one of her little trail pieces, and I decided to just kind of plant her, and she's actually taken root and started to grow. But I started to rethink that and think that I should probably take her out, seeing as that if one plant grew this big, I probably don't need an extra one in there. So probably take that one out. And then let's go over here. So this big old girl over here is kohlrabi. It's purple kohlrabi, so you can kind of see. I should have actually thinned that out and only just had one kohlrabi in there, but I actually let 3 grow, but they seem to be doing alright. There you can see that the ball is a bit smaller than the other one. The other one over here you can see the root ball is already, a bit bigger just as one, so I probably should have thinned it out, but lesson learned. So 1 per square foot. So right here in between, that's a cauliflower. That's this baby right here. And this big old girl right here is Swiss chard. That's what those little ones are. Same variety, but I have a couple other ones that I just planted. So back over here, this right here is bok choy. So I've got one and another one right there. So I'll swing around to the other side. And you can see my aquaponics tank. You can see some of the fish in there. I have decided to just raise goldfish and koi, just because I'm not a big fish eater and I don't have the heart to kill them either. So Plus, to do any kind of tilapia here, you can only do them for a couple months out of the year, and they're kind of a temperamental fish if the water temperatures get too low. So, anyways, we'll go on the back side. These are my custom shades. Get this out of the way. And over here, you can see I have a bunch of lettuce growing. So, this is all red romaine. Actually called super red romaine, I believe. I actually have two varieties, red romaine and super red. So they're doing really well. There's a couple new ones back in here. We've already eaten a couple, and there's some spot to put some more in coming in. So planting. And let's see, so over here is just a regular dirt raised bed garden, and so this is arugula. Not a big fan of it, actually. It's a bit peppery and spicy for my taste, but if you add just a little bit into your salad, it's pretty good. Over here, this is cabbage, and so that's cauliflower, and over here in the corner I've got some collard greens. Let's see, another cauliflower, and then over here is kale, and we've been eating on the kale quite a bit. And again, like before, I planted my seeds and I let them just grow, just all the seeds that grew up, because the kale seeds are so small. I think probably like 30 or 40 plants popped up, and I didn't thin them out. And I did an experiment and I thinned only one of them out, and you'll be able to see the difference. So last week, or the week before last, I had thinned this one out just to a single plant, and as you can see, she's much happier. So I think it was a couple of days ago, I went through and thinned everything out. I had a couple things that had way too many plants growing. So again, this is kohlrabi. So you can see no little base on this one, not yet. So there's a couple rutabagas in this one, so a couple rutabagas there, another kohlrabi, and these are all kale around the corner, so just different kales. Alright, and then over here in this last grow bed, I planted this one, I think, about 2 weeks ago. You can see I've got some crest curl here, which, doesn't really amount to anything, and it's rather bitter, so I'm not really impressed with that. So I've got some more super red romaine over here, just to kind of see the difference between growing aquaponic and growing in dirt. And then a bunch of different types of carrots. So these are actually, I think, called cosmic purple carrots. So they look purple, and they're really delicious. We've had them before, but I've heard they're actually pretty temperamental to grow, but I actually had pretty good luck with them so far. So over here, I believe, is cauliflower, and that's a cabbage, and more cabbage. So as you can see there, and then we've been composting for about 2 years. Actually, I'll come on the other side, and our composter broke. It was one of those big green turnstile, and yeah, we had it for about 2 years, and the Arizona sun just destroys anything plastic, and yeah, so it broke. So we had to do something with all of the compost that we had created over the last 2 years, and I had created what's called a horno, which is a earth oven, pizza oven over there. And so in the garden, I actually had a giant hole from where I had taken all that clay. So we dumped all the compost into that hole, and we still had some compost left over, so I put it in this container. Well, as you can see, we actually had something pop up from whatever was in our compost. And I'm fairly certain this is actually acorn squash. So as you can see here, the leaves are absolutely enormous. Way bigger than my hand, And it looks like, it seems that most of the male flowers are right in the center. And what I found very interesting is, you can see on here, she actually has a few what looks like acorn squash. So there's one right there, and you can see a giant one down there. And so there's one, two, you can see another one back there, so there's three. And what I find very interesting is, as you go down the line, there's 4, 5, there's a small one down there, 6. And what I find very interesting is, you get down the line, you see these little buds here that haven't even opened yet, but it looks like there's an acorn squash already growing on it. So I'm not sure exactly what that means, whether if it gets pollinated once, that whole line then is propagated and fertilized, I have no idea. But very cool, happy accident. So anyways, so that's that. And the last thing we have growing over here are some starter tomatoes. I'm just growing them in pots for now, just because it is not the time to be growing tomatoes outdoors. We're due for some frost. So it looks like we might get our first frost up north sometime here in Arizona, either tonight or tomorrow. They say it's not going to get down as far as we are. We're close to kind of Tucson. So anyways, these are black cherry tomatoes. They're all planted from seed, and they're doing really, really well. They're not bolting too much. And then over here, just got these yesterday. This is actually some more cauliflower, but this is purple cauliflower. And we've gotten a couple of plants from a guy that's at our co-op that we go to get a bunch of fresh fruits and vegetables. We got those from him, so they seem to be doing really well. And so here's some more seedlings in the tray, getting ready to come up to replace anything else that we've eaten. So there you go. There is the overview of my garden. I hope you guys all enjoy it, and I'm very happy with the progress. Shade tarps, everyone. Shade tarps for Arizona. Make all the difference in the world. Have a great week.